Raga Made Easy, brought to you by YJ Arun House. Are you already a musician or a music student who's familiar with Western music and wondered what in the world is this raga and are curious about knowing the nuts and bolts of raga music? Then this video series is for you. As far as possible, I'll try to bring the raga music theory in Western terms so that you will be able to relate it with the Western music theory that you already know. If you don't know anything about music or music theory, I don't know, maybe you can try and figure out something, at least to quench your curiosity. But if all goes well with this channel, then I plan to include some exercises also so that beginners also can practice and improve your singing or playing. In the first chapter, I'm going to explain scales behind raga system. There are about 35,000 scales in the raga system of South India, which is called Carnatic music. By the end of this video, you will be able to remember and play all 35,000 scales from memory. At least that is what I'm hoping to achieve here. And you can challenge me and see till the end and find out whether what I am saying is true. That is 35,000 raga scales you will remember by the end of this video. This sounds like a tall order, but just have patience and just continue watching. All you have to do is learn 6 names and 6 patterns associated with each name. Patterns in the sense it's a keyboard pattern, like the by keyboard I mean the piano keyboard or the organ keyboard or the accordion keyboard or the harmonium keyboard. The 6 names are 1 Angie, 2 Toddy, 3 Maya, 4 Maina, 5 Shankar, 6 Natai. As promised in the beginning that I will bring raga music theory in easy Western terms, I have chosen these names so that it will be easy for your tongue and ears. At the same time, it also rhymes with the Carnatic music raga scale system. To start off, we will avoid 1 Angie and 6 Natai because they both are highly complicated scales which has no equivalent in Western music. So for now, we'll avoid it. In case you are interested, after watching the first 2 chapters, let me know. I'll make a video on those 2 in the 3rd chapter because the math and physics behind it is so complex, so complicated that even the maestros of Carnatic music don't fully understand it. But they all sing it well though, because they all learn it by way of oral tradition from the guru lineage on a one-on-one basis. All the patterns will be always on 1 octave from C to C. That is all the 13 keys from C to C. Don't want to use the term key because that clashes with the Western music theory of keys. Instead, I'll use the term piano tabs. So when I say C tab, doesn't mean it's in the key of C. Even if you transpose it to any other key like G or F sharp or A sharp or anything, the C tab would have changed its tonic pitch. C tab is a generic term that can be transposed to any pitch. Let's start with pattern 5. All the patterns will be a 4-note pattern. Within the first tetrachord of an octave, what is the tetrachord? If we divide an octave into 2 equal parts, from the root or the tonic to the 4th is considered the first tetrachord, and from the 5th to the octave is considered the second tetrachord. So an octave has 2 tetrachords, 1 to 4th, the first tetrachord, and 5 to octave, the second tetrachord, which is called Purvanga and Uttarangam in Carnatic music. Don't have to remember those words. So all the 4-note pattern I am showing you will be from the first tetrachord. That is from the first to the 4th, from the tonic to the 4th. Believe it or not, if you memorize these 4 patterns, you will be able to remember about 24,000 raga scales. That sounds wonderful. Tetrachord pattern 5, Shankar, will be C, D, E, F. All white keys, or white tabs, I should say. For brevity, I'm going to represent all white keys in capital letters and all black keys of a piano in lowercase letters. So the pattern Shankar will have capital C, capital D, capital E, and capital F. You may have noticed that this pattern coincides with the first half of the major scale in Western music. I deliberately chose the short name Shankar because it rhymes with the actual scale in Carnatic music called Shankarabharanam, or to be precise, Dhira Shankarabharanam. I know that's a mouthful for you, that's why I thought I'll shorten it to Shankar. Also, the two greats who brought Indian raga music to the West. First, it's the great sitarist Ravi Shankar, and then, of course, Shakti's L. Shankar. Shakti, if you don't know the band, they played with John McLaughlin and Zakir Hussain and Viku Vinayak Ram. So thanks to these guys, and thanks to Beatles and John McLaughlin for making these two people internationally famous and making the Indian raga system famous around the world. I digressed because I thought these kind of stories will make you remember the name Shankar easily. Now you will not, whenever you think of the pattern 5, you can think of Ravi Shankar and L. Shankar of Shakti. I repeat, pattern 5 is tonic, major second, major third, and perfect fourth. That is the 4 tabs starting from C to F, represented as capital C, capital D, capital E, and capital F. Let's move on to pattern 4, minor. This 4-note pattern consists of C, D, E flat, and F. As I said before, all black keys will be represented by lowercase letters. Minor third will be written as lowercase e. Repeat, major third will be capital E and minor third will be small e. So there is only one change from pattern 5 to 4. That is, the major third becomes minor third. The rest of it is root, major second, and perfect fourth. It'll be a good idea to close your eyes and internally visualize these patterns on the keyboard, piano key C or tab C as we call it. I'm sure you noticed that this coincides with the first half of the minor scale. That's why I chose the name minor. In fact, there are 6 Carnatic ragas that starts with pattern for minor. They are like Natabhairavi, Kharahara Priya, Kiravani, etc. I'm sure you'll be able to remember the word minor more than all those difficult Indian names. Now let's move on to pattern 3, Maya. The 4 notes in pattern Maya are root, minor second, major third, and perfect fourth. Starting from tab C on the piano, they'll be C, minor second, major third, and perfect fourth. In the alphanumeric notation system, it will be C, small letter D, capital E, and capital F. The raga scale of Maya Malava Gaula starts with this pattern. That is why I chose the short form of it called Maya instead of Maya Malava Gaula, so that it won't be a tongue twister for the Western audience. By the way, this pattern is unique to Indian classical music. There is no equivalent in Western music for this pattern. That is why whenever they show Indian scenes like Taj Mahal or something like that, the movie composers use this pattern as the background score. Next is pattern 2, Toddy, that is Todd hyphen E. The 4 notes of this pattern are root, which is C, capital C, minor second, which is small letter D, minor third, which is small letter E, and perfect fourth, capital F. The raga Hanumantodi in Carnatic music starts with this pattern. That's why I chose the name Toddy, which is more anglicized. And the hyphenated E is so that you can remember this pattern as the first half of the Phrygian mode in Western music. As you know, Phrygian mode is all white keys when you start on the piano key E or the tab E. I hope it will work as a good mnemonic. The Todd E stands for Phrygian. You will know that it stands for Phrygian because the E is very significant for Phrygian mode. Remember that Todd E has only the minor third, which is small letter E. Now, before proceeding ahead, you should close your eyes and visualize all these 4 patterns over and over and memorize it. Unless it comes naturally from your memory, you will not be able to proceed further. You can also hum these four notes of four different patterns, visualizing it so that you will remember the pattern and also improve your ear for the pitch differences. Now, for the second section, that is, we will address the second tetrachord, that is, from the fifth of the scale to the next octave, higher octave. Hope by now you have memorized the names and the patterns associated with the first tetrachord. If so, just shift the pattern to the fifth of the scale, which is, because we are starting on C, it will be G. The names of the pattern will remain the same and the pattern will also be the same. Only thing you are shifting it to the fifth, that is G. So, like Shankar will be GABC, all in capital letters. So, if you ever see the name Shankar, that is Shankar hyphen Shankar, it means the first half is also major and the second half is also major tones. So you will obviously know that it's a major scale. So remember, Shankar corresponds to the major scale in Western music. Shankar starts with Shah, right? Shah is like the word for the king. So you know that the major scale is the king of all scales, right? All over the world. So when you say Shah, Shankar, it definitely means it's a major scale. That's a mnemonic technique that I'm giving you. Next, if we shift minor to the fifth, starting on G, then the notes will be G, A, flat B, and C, which will be written as capital G, capital A, small letter B, and C, capital C, that is. I just want to add here that C and G will always be capital. Because in Indian music, C and G has no flats or sharps. That is, the root and the fifth is always stable. It'll never have a sharp or a flat. So remember, if you see the scale minor hyphen minor, it means it's a Dorian scale. Always remember, it is not the minor scale. If you see minor scale will be a different name. A combination of these four names only is not any new name. Oh, okay, I'll disclose it for you to quench your curiosity. Make a minor scale, you have to make it with minor toddy. So if you see minor toddy, it'll become a minor scale, natural minor scale. So I'm hoping that you're getting an inkling, how we are making Raga Made easy now. That gives a segue to our pattern 2, which is toddy, which will make a Phrygian scale. But before that, let's go in order and address pattern 3, which is Maya. If you shift Maya pattern to the fifth G, the notes will be G, minor sixth, major seventh, and octave. The alphabet for it will be capital G, small a, capital B, and capital C. So when you see the name Maya hyphen Maya, it means it is the raga scale of Maya Malava Gaula. As I said, it has no equivalent scale in Western music. To continue to pattern 2, toddy, when we shift the pattern to G as before, the notes will be perfect fifth, minor sixth, minor seventh, and octave. So the letters are capital G, small letter A, small letter B, and capital C, which, as you know, is the Phrygian mode. So remember, Todd E means Phrygian. Phrygian is something that starts on the white key E, covering all the white keys up to the octave E. Now we got four symmetrical ragas. That is 2.2 is Toddy, 3.3 is Maya, 4.4 is Minor, and 5.5 is Shankar. We can make another 12 more raga scales by the permutation and combination of the first part and the second part. For example, 2.3 will be Toddy Maya, 2.4 will be Toddy Minor, and 2.5 will be Toddy Shankar. I don't want to iterate all the permutation combination and lengthen this video too much. So you can freeze this pane, pause it, and take a printout and see all the 12 permutation combinations of raga scales. I will just mention the Scales relevant to Western music. We already saw the major scale or Ionian scale as Shankar Shankar and Dorian as Maina Maina and Phrygian as Toddy Toddy. We will also have Mixolydian as Shankar Maina, Aeolian as Maina Toddy, and the harmonic minor will be Maina Maya because the seventh is raised. The melodic minor will be minor Shankar as both sixth and seventh are raised. In some cases, the descending notes will revert to natural minor scales. In that case, we'll have to have a four-part naming system. It will be written as minor Shankar, semicolon, Todi, minor. This way, by permutation combination, you can make so many ragas, but at the drop of a hat, you will know which notes are if you just memorize these four patterns and these four names. If you and your band members are all familiar with these terms and patterns, just imagine while jamming, you can just shout out one scale name among the thousands of scale names, and then immediately each of you can shift focus on those scales and keep changing scales just by yelling out a name. Most of you may have noticed that one note, the tritone, has not been included so far. As this video has turned out to be longer than what I expected it to be, we will deal with the tritone in the next part of chapter 1. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. But before watching the next video, make sure that you remember all the four patterns and its notes without having to refer to your notebook. It should be like it's at the back of your hand or back of your head. Bye for now.